Live, raw, uncut, and uncensored. It's just for clicks. Featuring your host, Michael Buckeister.
And welcome to Just for Clicks, guys. This is Michael Buckeister. This is live, raw, and uncut sports talk here on this beautiful Monday night. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Great divisional championship games. Chiefs topped the Titans. 49ers passed the Packers. Pun intended there, passed the Packers. Jimmy G had a total of, 9 passes in a game or something ridiculous like that. But, guys, that is not what we're going to talk about today. I lied. That is exactly what we're going to talk about today. But before we get into anything else, if you guys are new here, consider liking the Facebook page, Just for Clicks Facebook page. You can also find us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio as well, and the new and improved sportstalkchannel.com. We are on there right now. So, guys, follow those podcasts, those websites, if you would. That'd be great. But before we get into today's show here, we are going to do This Day in Sports. I've missed this on a couple other shows, and I apologize for that. But we are going to get back in this train over and over here. On this day and back in 1967, Philadelphia 76ers center Wilt Chamberlain makes all 15 of his field goal attempts in a 119-108 win over the LA Lakers. At the time, this was an NBA record for consecutive shots made, beats marked twice before in the 1966 and 67 seasons. I am currently in a debate with some people saying that Wilt Chamberlain is the best player of all time over Oscar Robertson, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, etc. I really cannot make an intelligent statement on that, to be honest with you guys. I was not around when Wilt Chamberlain was playing. I could solely base my opinions off of highlights that I've seen in past lives. Well, not past lives, but on YouTube and ESPN, etc. So, congratulations to Wilt Chamberlain on this day. So, good shout out to him. So now let's get into the news of the day, the week, for the next 2 weeks. The Kansas City Chiefs make it to the Super Bowl for the first time in over 50 years. Since Super Bowl IV, 1970. So it's been quite a while. 50 years since they have made it to the big game. And let's go ahead and talk about this game a little bit here. The Kansas City Chiefs, once again, they dropped down to a double-point deficit quickly in the game. Greg Joseph kicks a 30-yard field goal for the Tennessee Titans to take a quick 3-0 lead. This is the first drive of the game. Kansas City Chiefs go 3 and out. Big drop pass by Kelsey. Again, this is 2 games in a row that he's had 2 big drops on the first drive of the game. Give the Titans the ball back. And, of course, they give the ball to Derrick Henry. 9 plays, 58 yards to finish off the drive with a Derrick Henry 4-yard run. Greg Joseph kick. 10-0. Now, as a Kansas City Chiefs fan right now, I am questioning my life. I'm like, are we going to let the Tennessee Titans go up 24 points on us again and we're going to have to make a comeback? Because 10 points I'm okay with. 13 points I'm okay with. 14 points I'm okay with. But 17-0, I am, as a Chiefs fan, I would be, I am a Chiefs fan, but I would be questioning life at this point. We are going to really give this away again, the AFC Championship game, but at least we didn't have D Ford to line up offside. So that is a positive. But then the Kansas City Chiefs answer back with a 10-play, 74-yard yards of their own with the Tyreek Hill touchdown. It was a little touch pass. It was basically a reverse with the push pass that they like to run nowadays. Tyreek Hill running at 4.1, 4.2 speed, whatever he has, hits 25 miles an hour for 8 yards and gets in the end zone. 10-7 score. I'm okay with this. But then the Tennessee Titans turn around and score again. Another 15-play drive, another milking of the clock, 75 yards. This drive was 9 minutes long. Ryan Tannehill did throw a touchdown pass, a 1-yard little touchdown pass. Makes it 17-7. I'm okay with this. Because as a Chiefs fan, we saw it last week, down 24 points. Our offense is starting to show some life, yada, yada, yada. And then we just go dry. We are the best second quarter team in the NFL, and we just can't find it. We cannot find it at all. Luckily, Tyreek Hill comes to the rescue again. 5 plays, 63-yard drive, couple minutes off the clock, 20-yard pass. Makes it 17-14, I should say. Tennessee Titans winning. I'm okay with this, I think. Then it gets to all the way through the second quarter. It's a drought. I am not confident 17-14 going into halftime. Or I should say 24-14 going into halftime. Tennessee Titans are driving down the field. Luckily, the defense finally steps up and makes a big stop. Patrick Mahomes drives down the field with like 10 or 7 seconds left in the first half. Makes an amazing run. Puts the Chiefs on top 21-17. At that point, I knew the game was over. Patrick Mahomes flexes his little flabby arms in the end zone. He has put this team on his back, and he is ready to just have a great second half. So our second quarter might come in the third quarter. Maybe, maybe not. It doesn't. Third quarter, both teams blank. So it is 21-17 going into the fourth quarter. I'm confident, but I'm uneasy. Yes, I did tell you this is exactly how the game was going to go. I thought it was going to be 28-24 going to midway into the fourth quarter. Chiefs put on a couple late touchdowns, but clearly that is, I'm pretty close to right on. But Damian Williams, to start the fourth quarter, plunges it into the end zone for a 3-yard run, makes it 28-17. Basically, the Chiefs don't look back at it at that point. Very next drive, Tennessee Titans go 3-and-out in the fourth quarter. Then the Chiefs start to Tennessee Titans, the Titans, meaning they have put in some great drives. Their final touchdown drive was 7 plays, 88 yards for 4 minutes. Sammy Watkins, 60-yard touchdown pass. This drive would have gone a lot longer, but Sammy Watkins is a pretty darn good wide receiver. Hits him in stride. Boom. 35-17. At this point, I feel the game is pretty much wrapped up. And pretty much what I said it was going to be. It was going to be a close game, 28-24, going to midway fourth quarter. Score was a little wrong, 28-17. Chiefs have blown it open. Titans tack on a late touchdown to Frisker's 22-yard touchdown pass. Good drive. 8 plays, 80 yards, 3 minutes and 15 seconds. But that is not the what we're going to talk about. What we're going to talk about is the Kansas City Chiefs out-tightening the Titans. Look at their scoring drives that they had. They had 10 plays, 74 yards, 5 plays, 63 yards. That drive, I believe, started on the 40 of the Tennessee Titans, so they didn't have very far to go. Next drive, 9 plays, 86 yards. Next scoring drive, 13 plays, 73 yards. And then a 7-play, 88 yards. The Kansas City Chiefs, I have to applaud Andy Reid's play calling in this game. That has been the biggest knock on Andy Reid ever since he was at Philly, was his butthole puckers at the game time, and his play calling sucks. But the play calling in this AFC Championship game was pretty darn good, and I applaud him for that. Hopefully he can continue that momentum into the Super Bowl and get a win for the Kansas City Chiefs. Before we get too carried away into the rest of the show, guys, the phone lines are open, 502-771-0364. Feel free to call into the show, voice your opinions, voice your thoughts. We are here for another 45 minutes or so. So definitely jump in the phone lines if you guys want to express your thoughts on today's show. kind of football related here in the first two segments. In the second segment, we will get into some NCAA basketball talk. Now, the play calling on Andy Reid was a very good success. I mean, I feel it is easy to play calls when you have a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes. Is he the greatest of all time? We don't know. He has a 2-season body of work. Yes, he's 3 years in the league, but he's played 2 full seasons. You cannot call somebody the greatest after 2 seasons. It just doesn't work like that. Was he the best quarterback in the league this year? You can say that. He has definitely been the best quarterback in the postseason. Regular season, I think you would probably have to give it to Lamar Jackson. Yes, he led the team to 14-2, yada, yada, yada. But first round exit. I should say first game exit. No surprise there to me. Tim Tebow is a better postseason quarterback than Lamar Jackson is. Take that as you will. But these weapons that the Kansas City Chiefs have, you have to give credit to the front office. They have drafted well. They have built the team well. They stole Patrick Mahomes in the draft. They stole Tyreek Hill. I believe Travis Kelce was like their highest pick of this wide receiver core that they have. Harmon last year, I guess he was like he was a first round pick. I do believe he will do good things. But I was on another show earlier today. I'm not for sure when this will air. Their show, I should say, the Matthew Lyle show. You guys should go check it out. He does good. He does good things here. But the question that he asked me was that, do the Chiefs have more pressure to win now than the other Super Bowl team? And my first thought was like, well, yeah, Patrick Mahomes. That this team wins or loses with Patrick Mahomes. When Patrick Mahomes does good things, does well, throws for a couple touchdowns, 300 yards, maybe rushes for 30 or 40 yards, good things happen. They win a lot of ball games. When he doesn't, they lose. So my first thought was, yes, all the pressure in the world. But now Patrick Mahomes, he has a bright future ahead of him, barring injury. It's got to be more pressure on the coaching staff, to be honest. Eric Bieniemy, he has been a head coaching candidate the last couple of years. I'm not for sure why he hasn't got one. But if Andy Reid loses him, the Chiefs, I'm not saying they'll be horrible by any means. That's no stretch of my imagination. But they'll definitely take a hit. So you definitely have to win now type of situation, because the Super Bowl is hard to get to. Guys, these guys have played 16 regular season games and quite possibly 3 in the postseason. Chiefs got lucky, got a first-round bye, so they've only had to play 2 games. You're still looking at 18, 19 games that these guys will be playing. That is a hard on the body. So getting to the Super Bowl, you guys cannot take this with a grain of salt. Yes, there's going to be pressure on Patrick Mahomes to do great things. But at the same time, the window for the Kansas City Chiefs is wide open. They have things happening there, and quite frankly, I couldn't be more ecstatic as a Kansas City Chiefs fan. I'm excited for them. I'm excited for the Super Bowl. I'm 32 years old, and I've never seen the Kansas City Chiefs make it to the Super Bowl. Granted, they've only been 2 in their life, and I think, man, my dad was around, but he was like 5 or 6 years old, so it's been a while. Coming from Kansas, you guys will understand this. Like, we don't get a lot of championships there. I'm a Royals fan, I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan, and I'm a Kansas State fan. Royals are the only one that really have broke that drought in 2014. I mean, that was from 85 to 2014. So that's the most successful championship-wise franchise in our area, or my team ranks. But guys, we're going to take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we got to talk how the San Francisco 49ers ran over the Packers. Feel free to call into the show, guys. The phone lines are open, 502-771-0364. This is Just for Clicks, guys, and we will be right back. And welcome back to Just for Clicks, guys. This is Michael Buckeister. This is live, raw, and uncut sports talk here. If you guys are listening to us live, really appreciate it. We're live on Facebook page, Just for Clicks Facebook page. Go on there and give us a like. Comment on some stuff that we post over there. We post a lot of controversial stuff because this is what we're all about. We are, I guess you can say, the biggest Lamar Jackson haters in the world. Not really, but it is what it is. When the fans put him on this pedestal, sometimes you have to test the pedestal a little bit, see if it's wobbly, and it's been pretty wobbly here as of late. Sorry, fans, that's just the way it is. If you are listening to us on podcast form, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, consider following to that podcast, leaving us a ranking and a comment. I prefer 5 stars, but if it's not, be honest. Say that I suck, and I will improve. I try to improve each and every show for you guys. If you are listening to us on sportstalkchannel.com live as well, welcome. Feel free to call into the show, 502-771-0364. The phone lines are open, and I am willing to have a conversation with you anytime you would like. But, guys, we have talked about the Kansas City Chiefs. And now we have to jump to the other side of the Super Bowl, or the other side of the NFL, I should say, right? What am I trying to say? The other game, there we go. San Francisco 49ers literally ran over the Packers on Sunday night. This game was really not close at any point of the game. Halftime score was 27-0. It was, as a football fan, like passive aggressive, this game was boring for the fans from the start. And the big name, the GOAT, Aaron Rodgers, had 6 completions for 69 yards, I think it was. Jimmy Garoppolo had 6 completions for 44 yards. I felt like we were back in the old days when it was ground and pound. You had Mike Allstott and Warwick Dunn back there. They just ran the ball down your throat. Boom, stop us if you can. And the Green Bay Packers could not stop the San Francisco 49ers whatsoever. And it was like the Packers had that mid-season game when, you just don't show up. Like, you have to travel, you have an early game, and you're tired, and you just don't want to be there. And this game happened to them. They just were not there at all. So Mozart, I believe I'm saying his name correctly, scored the first touchdown of the game for the 49ers. It's a 6-play, 89-yard drive. This is going to be a theme here. Robbie Gould kicked a 54-yard field goal to start the second quarter. Mozart, 9-yard touchdown run, makes the score 17-0. Midway through the second, another Robbie Gould field goal makes it 20-0. And then Mozart, another 18-yard run to end the second quarter, giving him a 27-0 lead. Packers did not look like they wanted to be there. Aaron Rodgers was fumbling the ball, throwing interceptions, getting sacked, running for his life all game. But third quarter comes around. They had a pretty nice drive, 11 plays, 75-yard drive. Aaron Rodgers to Aaron Jones for a 9-yard touchdown pass. Makes it 27-20. Still not too much, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, yeah. 49ers answer right back. 7 plays, 80 yards. Mozart, 22-yard touchdown run. Makes it 34-7 going into the fourth quarter. I was on my phone. I'm like, this game's over. The commentators were saying this game's over. But then Aaron Rodgers kind of starts to be Aaron Rodgers a little bit. Finally shows up in the fourth quarter. has a 10-play, 75-yard drive. To finish the drive, Aaron Jones, 1-yard plunge into the end zone, makes it 34-13. For some reason, they went for a 2-point conversion. If you guys are in the comments below here, let me know of why you think the Packers went for a 2-point conversion there. I mean, even if they did, it was still, a 19-point game at that point? So it doesn't make sense. You're still down 3 scores. It doesn't make sense to me. You have to get a couple onside kicks here. I don't care what the analytics say at that point. It's stupid. Should have just went for the field goal. Would made it 34-14, whatever. So, but they went for 2. They failed. Packers had a good stop, and then they have another great drive. 7-play, 92 yards. Aaron Rodgers, 8-yard touchdown pass to Jace Stranenberger. Makes it 34-20. 8 minutes left in the game. I'm getting kind of excited. I call my aunt. I'm like, hey, is Aaron Rodgers going to come back? I mean, he's only down 14 points here. Is he going to come back? Is Aaron Rodgers going to be the GOAT here? No. The Packers defense can't stop anything. 10 plays, 49 yards, basically puts a nail in the coffin on the Packers. Robbie Gould kicks a 42-yard field goal, giving the 49ers a 37-20, which ended up being the final. But still, the Packers they played like they're in a mid-season slump. They didn't want to be there. They didn't show up. It's just this game was ugly from the get-go. Just after that, after just watching the 49ers run up and down the field the way they did in the first half or in the first quarter, yeah, the score was only 7-0, but you knew you never had a feeling that the Packers were ever going to show up in this game. It was almost sad to watch. Like this is the quote GOAT of the NFL, and he looks like he wants to cry and bail on his team. Let's be totally honest. I don't care about not having any weapons on the outside. I don't care about you don't have that big name running back or whatever. He just flat out did not show up and play well. The only way the Packers were going to win this game was he had to be a larger-than-life person, put the team literally on his back, and lead them to the promised land. In the first 3 quarters of this game, he did not. He fumbled. He took sacks. He threw an interception. It was sad to watch. I mean, 6 completions in the first half for Aaron Rodgers. Well, I believe it was 69 yards. That's tough. Now, on the flip side of that, Jimmy G had 6 completions for 44 yards, or was it 5 completions for 44 yards? I mean, so like it was a very run happy 49ers first half, but apparently that's who they are. They like to run the ball, and I mean, I haven't watched a lot of 49ers games this year. I've obviously watched them the last couple weeks, and they have fun playing their style of football, but why give your quarterback so much money if you're not going to use him? That's my biggest question. Why give your quarterback? I got to know how much money he makes, but I think it's over $80 or $90 million. I mean, he's making some money. Use the man, but is this leverage for them in the future? I don't know. Like, we can touch on this later in the week. I've touched this on some other shows, but it just when Jimmy G 6 for 8 for 77 yards, that's tough. That's tough to watch. I mean, I'm watching some highlights here, and you see Jerry Rice like hooping and hollering. Like I get it. They're going for six champions or 6 Super Bowl rings. Like, I get it. It's good times. 49er fans, I'm happy for you guys. But let's be honest. Do we want another defensive battling Super Bowl? We saw it last year with the so this is almost like a repeat of last year's Super Bowl. You had the high flying Rams. Oh, they're going to put up 50 plus points. You have the Patriots, they're a good defense, run the ball. dink and dunk, yeah. And look what we got. Me as a football advocate, love that game. It was a good defensive. It was a good strategy game. Defense, yeah, like you had to pick your poison. You had to pick, what pawns to sacrifice, type of thing. And it was really exciting to watch. And I don't know if we're ever. I don't think the Chiefs and the 49ers are going to give us that type of Super Bowl. I truly feel like it's either going to be a high-scoring game or it's going to be like what we just saw last week in this NFC Championship game. 49ers are going to rush for 220 yards and throw the ball eight times. It's tough. But it is what it is. Super Bowl is set. San Francisco 49ers traveling to Miami to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm looking forward to it. Not as a Chiefs fan, not as a 49ers fan, but as a football fan. I like the aspect that we have two young quarterbacks. Probably the couple biggest names in the NFL, with Patrick Mahomes being obviously the biggest name. Jimmy G, got to be a top 10 name, right? I'm actually going to put a poll up here on my Facebook page. Yes, obviously Patrick Mahomes is the bigger name, but is Jimmy G a bigger staple of as Patrick Mahomes? Is he a top 10 or even a top 5? Just name. I'm not saying talent or team wise or whatever. I'm strictly talking name notoriety. Because let's just think about this real quick. Like, you have Patrick Mahomes, you have Lamar Jackson, you have Aaron Rodgers. Then who's after that? Are you going to say Carson Wentz? Are you going to say Jared Goff? Jimmy G's got to be right there with Goff and Wentz. As far as names, I'm not talking talent. Like, don't get it twisted. I'm not talking talent. I'm talking strictly name notoriety. Like, Jimmy G has to be in the top 10. But regardless of all that, Super Bowl is set. Niners versus Chiefs. We are going to take a quick break here, guys. Join me on the other side of the break. We got to talk a little NCAA football. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Just for Clicks, guys. This is Michael Buckeye. So this is live, raw, and uncut sports talk here on this Monday night. If you guys are here, watch us on the Facebook page. Welcome. Phone lines are open. Feel free to call into the show. 502-771-0364. Be glad to take your call. Talk any sports that you might want to talk about. We've already covered the Chiefs versus Titans. San Francisco 49ers over the Packers are like as well. We definitely can jump back into there if you would like to call into the show. I'm open to talk about just about anything. But on the second segment, or the third segment of the show, I should say, we're going to cover a little NCAA basketball. This is the type of year where I feel like basketball really ramps up. I really get heavily invested into basketball. My team, the Kansas State Wildcats, is my number one team, but my wife is a Kentucky fan, Kentucky Wildcats, so I support them as well. So, I'm rooting for both cats. So, but if they would ever to play head-to-head, I got to go with my Kansas State Wildcats. Purple all day long. I'm from Kansas, and yeah, it is what it is. I'm not a bandwagon fan like some people. But AP Top 25 poll did come out today. And at number one, up one from number two, you had the Baylor Bears. Number 2, Gonzaga. Number 3, Kansas. Number 4, San Diego State. Number 5, Florida State. Number 6, Louisville. Number 7, Dayton Flyers. Number 8, Duke Blue Devils. Number 9, Villanova. Number 10, Seton Hall. 11, you got Michigan State. 12, Oregon. 13, Butler. 14, West Virginia, that my Kansas State Wildcats just beat last weekend. Number 15, Kentucky Wildcats. Tough loss. Another bounce-back win. Number 16, Auburn. 17, Maryland. 18, Texas Tech. Iowa, Memphis, Illinois, Arizona, Colorado, Rutgers, Scarlet Knights at number 24. And around out the top 25, you do have the Houston. I believe they are the Cougars. This is the AP top 25. Guys, this is not the year that we're going to have a dominant NCAA basketball program. You cannot say the Duke Blue Devils are going to win this season, without a doubt. I don't know what the biggest odds are off the top of my head, but this is a season that you're going to have somebody that just barely gets into the tournament and they're going to win it all. You're going to have a team like the Wichita State Shockers to go to the Final Four and win it all. You're going to have a team like Northern Iowa or how about Harvard? Harvard receiving top 25 votes. Let those don't let those bad boys in. That zone will kill you. But guys, I will start releasing my top 10. I'm not going to release a top 25 by any means because I watch basketball avidly, but I'm not watching San Diego State play. I'm not staying up till 2 a.m. to watch a West Atlantic Conference, a WAC, or was it WCC or whatever conference they're in the Mountain West, I should say. Like, I'm not staying up till 2 o'clock in the morning to watch them play a Wyoming team and win by 40. It's pointless. I think they're going to be a second round exit team anyways. It doesn't matter how good they are right now or how high they are ranked. I'm not going to watch the Rutgers play. Yes, I did watch them play Saturday. Who did they play? Was it Indiana that they played? I mean, I wasn't ingrained in that game. I was passively watching it. I'm sorry. It was Indiana that I saw them play. Indiana's another good basketball program and another solid program. But guys, I'm going to give you my top 10 right here, right off the bat. So I do like the Baylor Bears. They are my number one team. If March Madness were to start right now, I think they would win. My top 10 is not going to be who is hot right now or the trending team or whatever. I'm going to base my top 10 of how the teams that I think would be the top 10. Let's do top 8 for Elite 8 purposes. No. Top 10. Number one, I'm going to go with Baylor. I think Baylor is a championship caliber team. Yes, they had one early season loss, I believe it was to Auburn or something. But that Big 12 is going to be tough. They're going to be battle tested. So once it comes to March, they know what to do. Number 2, I got to go with Kansas. The only reason why Kansas isn't number 1 right now is because Baylor beat them earlier in the season. Watch out, fans. Kansas and Bill Self is going to make a run this year. That pains me to say as a Wildcat fan, but I think they're going to make a run. Number 2, I got to go with Kansas. Number 3, I like Louisville. Louisville is a solid team. Yes, they lost to my Kentucky Wildcats. Yes, they lost to what game did they lose earlier this week? Let me pull up the schedule here. Oh, that was last week. They did lose 2 in a row to Kentucky and to Florida State, but then they rattled off four in a row and they beat a very good Duke team. So I would have to put them up at number 3. So I got Baylor, Kansas, and then Louisville, and then this is where my the water started getting a little murky for me. Number 4, I got to put Gonzaga. I've only seen them play a couple games, but the games that I did see them play, I like what they had out there on the court. Number 5, I got to go Duke Blue Devils. Even though they lost to Louisville, Duke is still going to be a good team come to March. You can't count out Duke whatsoever. Number 6, I got Michigan State. Never count out Tom Izzo. Number 7, I got to go with Oregon. I've for some reason, Oregon has always had a soft spot in my heart. I've always kind of liked what Oregon has done. Number 8, I'm going to go with Butler. Number 9, Villanova. I like what they're doing out there. They've built kind of a dynasty. And sliding into my top 10, I got to go Seton Hall. Seton Hall was slept on last year. Kentucky took a lot of slack last year when they lost to Seton Hall in the regular season. But then Seton Hall's been doing good things, guys. They beat Butler. They beat Maryland. They beat Iowa State. They played them twice. That's weird. Beat them once, lost to them once. But regardless, guys, look out for Seton Hall. Like I told you that I think Wichita State right now will win the championship just because I think everything will line up good for them. But this is the year of the underdog. This is the year that you do not want to let a hot team in. So a team that's like 18 and 16 slides in as like a 12 seed. You don't want to play that team. Now a team that's like, I don't know, like San Diego State, they go, 30-0 or whatever it is, 32-0. That's the team that you want to play. So let's look at some games that are happening here on Tuesday night. You have my Kansas State Wildcats. Come on, load up for me here. Got my Kansas State Wildcats taking on the number 3 Kansas Jayhawks at 7 p.m. East Coast time. Unfortunately, guys, I like Kansas in this game. When you're making picks, you cannot pick with your heart. You got to pick with your head. Kansas is a better team than Kansas State. Yes, I know Kansas State had a big win over West Virginia, but previously, before that, they lost like 4 or 5 in a row. It is what it is. Next game I'm going to pick here, you have number 13 Butler taking on number 9 Villanova. This is a great, intriguing game. If this wasn't on at 7 o'clock the same time as my other games, I would be watching this game 100%. I got to go with Butler on the road. I like them. I like Butler. I like Butler a lot. Georgia travels to number 15 Kentucky. I take Kentucky. There's no doubt about that. Next up, Illinois is taking on Purdue. I'm taking the upset. I like Purdue at home. I've always liked Purdue for some reason. They have the soft spot in my heart, just like Oregon. Now there's Wichita State at South Florida. I will be tuning into this game. I will have this game playing on my phone while the Kentucky game is going on. I'm flipping back and forth between the KU and Kansas State game. I like Wichita State, but I am really intrigued at how this game is going to play out. Then if you are late now, at 11 p.m., you have San Diego State taking on Wyoming. Clearly, San Diego State's going to win that one. I don't think it's even going to be close, to be honest with you. So, college basketball, guys, college basketball is always intriguing, especially in late January going into February. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun here. So let's go ahead and shift gears a little bit here. Talk about Major League Baseball. They were in the headlines last week, last show for us, about the whole cheating scandal, the people wanting to vacate, and just so let me talk about that a little bit. Let me refresh everybody's memories here. The Houston Astros have officially been, quote, caught by stealing signs. Carlos Beltran, is that his name? Was hired on as the Mets manager, has been forced to step down / fired from his position for being basically the only player named in stealing signs. So a little bit of background of what has happened. Basically, the Houston Astros was using the replay technology to steal pitching signs. When they knew an off-speed pitch was coming, they would make noise in the dugout to give the hitters advantage. Okay, cool. Guys, I've been on record saying this. And I'm not going to back down from the position whatsoever. Baseball is a game of cheating. Let me repeat that. Baseball is a game of cheating. It doesn't matter that they're using technology to cheat now. It doesn't matter if they have a coach sitting on the bench looking at the third base coach out there trying to steal signs. Like the base running signs. This is what baseball is. If you're not playing in the gray area in baseball, you are not winning world champions. You are not making it to the Major League Baseball. Like, just face it, baseball is such a hard sport to get into, and it is the hardest thing to do is to play baseball. So I'm not mad at the Houston Astros for using stuff that was at their disposal to you can say, quote, cheat, because there was nothing in the rule book saying that you could not use technology to steal signs. I mean, the only reason why this is a big deal is because they happen to get caught, and they're the only team that's got caught. I guarantee you that all 30 baseball teams in Major League was doing this same thing. If they weren't, there's a reason why they were 20 and 100, or like 120 and 30 or whatever. My Kansas City Royals, I should say, or the Cincinnati Reds. How about that? How about that one for you, Cincinnati fans? Like, guys, everybody in the Major League Baseball was doing this. Face it. Just like when the whole steroid era was, Mark McGwire and Barry Bonds and Sammy Sosa weren't the only ones doing that, or Jose Canseco. Everybody was doing it. They just happens to be the ones that were the big names and, quote, got caught. Just because you're the biggest and the baddest and the fastest doesn't mean you're on steroids. I guarantee you there was pitchers that were on steroids. Or I'm not going to put any names on it by whatsoever, but I mean, Cal Ripken, he has the streak of the most Major League Baseball games in a row. Are you telling me he was not on something? Guys, think about that. Like, let's just talk about Cal Ripken like a little bit. I don't really remember the exact numbers, but it was over 2,000 games straight that he played. That means he woke up in the morning, put on his baseball uniform, and played at least a couple innings of baseball for 2,000 straight games, 2,000 plus straight games. Yes, I know you have an off season to recover, quote, off season and whatnot. You have one day off a week, whatever. But let me ask you this for you comment people. When's the last time you called in sick to work? Have you worked 2,000 straight days in a row? No. So, come on now. It's a very I'm not trying to tarnish his legacy whatsoever, but like you get the gist of it. Cheating is what makes baseball exciting, guys. Think about this. When we were in the steroid era and Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire were going back and forth for the 62 home runs, everybody was tuned into it. Everybody was checking it out. We were excited to watch. It was must-see TV. When the Houston Astros were dominating people on their 2017 championship run, it was exciting to watch, wasn't it? People don't like baseball because it's so long. I get it. Make it exciting. Cheating is encouraged in baseball. Face it. If you're not playing the gray area, you're losing. There's no question about it. But then I saw a survey this weekend while I was watching NFL go across the ticker at the bottom of the screen. It was like 57% of fans want the Astros to vacate their national title. This is after that Major League Baseball has found, they found wrongdoing, but there is no wrongdoing. So they're saying, yeah, that's bad, but hey, good job on the win. But fans want them to vacate their championship. Why? I guarantee you that probably 20% of those people that voted does it. So of the 57% that voted that they wanted to vacate their world championship, 20% of them probably are real baseball fans. The other 37 have no idea what the average. They're a casual viewer. They tune in April, watch opening day, maybe watch a couple games, maybe catch a game here now or there. Then in October, rolls around at their teams and we're a big baseball fan that their team's not in. Oh, it's basketball season. Oh, it's football season. So that poll was just absolutely stupid that I saw. 100% stupid. 100% just. I don't even know what to say about that. So they can stop doing these polls. It's stupid. The only reason why it is news is because the Astros won. The only reason why people know about it is because somebody did not get a big deal. I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head. But basically the Astros basically cut him. And then he's like, oh, but you guys did this, and I'm going to go tell the world you better get in my contract. And they said, well, fuck you. And this is where we're at. Major League Baseball found no wrongdoing whatsoever. It doesn't matter. NASCAR is coming. February 2nd, I do believe. Let me look that up to be certain, but we are getting into racing season here now that football season is wrapping up. XFL season is starting here in a couple weeks as well. If you guys are looking for some XFL podcasts here, sportstalkchannel.com is where they'll be at. I haven't heard of anybody else doing XFL. We got it coming for you. If you guys are here, listen on some podcast form, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. We're out there on iHeartRadio, iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Also on sportstalkchannel.com, where they're live 10 to 11 p.m. at night. A couple replays in the morning as well. Our phone lines are always open, guys. 502-771-0364. If you want to catch us during a live show, jump on Facebook as well. Just for Clicks Facebook page, jump on there. Share that with a couple friends. Feel free to call into the show. It's good times. Guys, that's going to be it for today's show. Thank you guys for joining me. Join me tomorrow. We're going to talk more NFL. I mean, we have to basically, talk football until it is no longer football season.
Hey,
right?
Thanks for tuning in to Just for Clicks. Michael Buckeister. Tune in next time once again for Just for Clicks.